Unmasking manipulation. This webinar is really teaching us how to recognize when our own system is reactive or defensive or freezes or pushbacks around change. We are, in a way, programming ourselves and also programmed from the ancestral line, from the epigenetics and the society, not to be our full selves. Because to be our full selves, to really be truthful to our essence, there may not be many people who like that in the system. So we're people pleasers and we bend, veer off course against our path, or we're procrastination or stagnation of the system. So what this webinar is really supporting you to do is to step and embody your power and to step out of these stories we tell ourselves of, when there's a direction you have to go where your spirit is directing you and you manipulate yourself by telling yourself stories or excuses or fears of not going that extra step, which is the transformation itself. And we're designed like that. Our nervous system is designed not to take those extra steps. And for me, when there's a transformation in the system, the transformation is the part where we drop into the pain, drop into, I'm being suffocated, or drop into the fear. But we don't realize that it's only for a moment. And then we're through it. And then we've released that veil. Now, when we're designed to jump back all the time, when that veil comes up, we create stories. And unfortunately, in life, when we tell ourselves enough stories about fear or fear of death or procrastination or not moving forward, you may notice that what in reality, what you're doing is you're stepping out of your being, you're stepping out of your channel, and you're activating the mind to tell stories, and you sort of like go out of your energetic body. When you leave your energetic body, you're creating another field of mind, which then loops and is powered up on fear and separation. So the whole thing then on that field will be all about separation and fear. And that is separating from self, meaning that's separating from creation, God, source, creativity, for example. A lot of creators I work with, they come when they're out of alignment with creation, meaning they're too much in their mind. Something popped up in their system, which is too much in the mind. The work I do is really based on when we're born into epigenetic information, which has a lot of different programs of control in it already. So we're already set up in a way with programs which will start, procrastination, for example, fear, anxieties. So these are already built into our system. It's almost like we've a hard drive that we entered that has viruses within it. And we will then start, if we don't work on ourselves and facing them and deprogramming our hard drive, we then become that. That's why you often see people or hear people talk and say, I don't want to be like my mom's life, my dad's life. And they're exactly being it because they haven't worked on their hard drive. So the work I do is really about going on a journey. It's not a one-hit wonder. It can be if you do, drop into it once, it definitely will make an effect on the hard drive. But if you really want to go into the hard drive, you need to go into the microchips. You need to go through the information within there, what you've been wired with, what have you been wired with, and start breaking it down and working through it. And that's why, for example, the academy is there, and that's what I've been doing over the years is being channeled to bring in certain teachings, which is breaking down the different wiring mechanisms which we've been wired with, because this keeps us out of ourselves. And out of remembrance, it's all about remembering. Because if you really go to essence level, everything's good. So it's about going through maybe you're living in hell stories and excuses to reveal it. You know, what is it? What is stopping you from, what nightmares are stopping you from being yourself? And often what I find is that our biggest fears, behind the biggest fears, is the biggest truth, meaning our biggest gifts. And it's what we're meant to be doing. So the actual thing you're fearing most usually is the thing that you're meant to be doing in life or you have the biggest gift for. And what attaches to those qualities is this negative aspect which tries to separate you from yourself. And this is like a magnet. When you have it in your system, you're magnetizing on those specific frequencies, and you will draw more and more and more if you don't keep working on yourself or decluttering the system. Now, what happens then is if you start going into the mind and you don't work on the system, then you start being medicated. You start medicating yourself with tranquilizers, depression pills, sleeping tablets because you're not sleeping right. Why is that? Why are you medicating yourself to be in life? Because it's all about being. So you're dropping out of the being state, and the medication is just simply numbing down the system. So the work I do is about what is in the background, what's really in the background. And there may be a lot of resistance from entering these fields. And usually the biggest hurdles that you have to go over are the ones you don't want to do because the system knows there's going to be a change in the hard drive. So all the different viruses will come together, just like parasites. They come together to stop you. The parasites, for example, want you to eat more sugar. So as soon as you start detoxing, you'll start releasing toxins into the brain and you'll feel you'll go back to the sugar. Same thing. This is exactly the same thing. So we are the parasite of ourselves, manipulating ourselves not to make changes. So in the beginning, it's just like joining a gym first. It's a lot of effort and I feel not good to go back every day. And then suddenly it runs and it starts, you start getting the results and you feel good to go to the gym. Same thing. So I invite you to go on this journey with me if you haven't already. And I say there's a lot of different modules on their whole systems on the Academy itself, on the website, on the webinars. And each one of these webinars have got aspects for releasing what is on your hard drive. This specific set of webinars, teachings, transformation or clearings, what you want to call it, is really about what is manipulating your system from moving forward. What is manipulating your system from being in a state of being? What is in your system which is afraid or using other people as excuses from being the greatest version of you? So this is what this is about. And we're going to find those. I'm going to hold space for you to break down like a magnifying glass going into your system, into your subconsciousness, into your epigenetics, and seeing where the root of these topics are coming from. So when we're in the mind and it takes over the system and we're not sleeping and we're procrastinating or in fear, that's where your health is affected and the cells are affected because your body knows how to heal. The body, system, soul, essence has all the information it needs to heal the organs, everything. The problem comes in if you're out of your energetic body. If you're out of your energetic body, you've just separated from yourself and your immune system. And your system is not allowed to do what it's meant to do. You're stopping it. So I invite you to really come back into your core, come back into your system, and any programs which you're running to accept they're there and not to fight them, simply accepting they're active, and then you're in flow. You don't have to clear them all at once, but by simply accepting they're there and they're present in my life, and it's an anxiety in my life, instead of jumping out of them, I'm in them and they're transforming and I'm still on my channel. And my channel knows how to clear the system. So in this webinar, we're going to focus on all these control mechanisms we've developed ourselves, we've accepted ourselves, or from the epigenetics, we've inherited them, and we're going to clear them together. So this is going to be a juicy one, a big one, and it's going to support you to be yourself on a very, very deep level. And there may be a lot of resistance to enter this system of the webinar for the simple reason it's going to change your life. Where there's resistance coming up in the system, you need to ask, why is the resistance? Is there something I'm afraid of? Is there something I'm afraid of? And it's interesting, I just say that, someone I know, I was like sending something, something that would change the system dramatically. And of course, the first reaction is, that doesn't resonate with me. That doesn't resonate with me. It's for somebody else. Why does it not resonate with you? That's what we have to be careful of. We think we're intuitive, empathic, and we go by the first instinct. We don't sit with it long enough. The first instinct is, that doesn't resonate with me. That's not for me. Is that true? Or is that yourself manipulating yourself? Is it true, or is it yourself manipulating yourself? Anytime I've gone for major healings in my life or major breakthroughs, my system multiplies 10 times. That's not for me. That's not for me. That's for me. I sit in it and I go into my essence level, and my essence level then tells me the truth. But everything in me is alarm bells, earthquakes, not to receive that session. Even during the session, there's a lot of resistance. So just be aware of the alarm bells and be aware of the trigger response, which tells you this doesn't resonate with you. Is that true? Is that true for you, for your essence, not your mechanism, for your essence, not your nervous system, your essence? This is where I invite you to really go deeper into the system. It's interesting, over the years, for example, in the academy, there's many different webinars I've done over the years, and people I know, and they'd say, oh no, that one wasn't for me. And I'm like, oh my God, that was the one for you. That was the one for you. No, that's not for me. I felt it. I only went with the other one. The reason you're bolting is because that's the one that's going to change your life. Are you ready to change your life? That is the question. So if you're ready, check inside and see if it's for you. And I'll see you in the webinar space. Thank you.